It all feels very similar, doesn't it? Welcome into Bears Now. Vikings 27, Bears 24. Bears fall to 0-1 after really being in control of this game through three quarters. We'll break it all down. Very disappointing loss, very disheartening, a lot of mistakes for a lot of people. And, we'll talk about the quarterback, who certainly was not good enough tonight. Who do you guys blame most for the loss? You could blame Caleb. He certainly was not good enough. You could blame just kind of the offense as a whole. You could blame the lack of discipline. You had 12 penalties. I am going to blame Caleb more than anyone else. I don't think it's like a 99% pie chart situation. I do think there's a lot of blame to go around. But when the defense continues to get stops and they even get a pick six for you, and you're kind of just dangling to these two leads at different points in the game. In the first half, 7-3 lead for a while. Then in the second half, you had a 17-6 lead for a while. And in each half, you had multiple possessions where you could kind of rip their throat out. I mean, listen, we'll talk J.J. McCarthy and the defense, and kudos to him. Hell of a fourth quarter. It shouldn't have even come to that. He looked completely lost through three quarters, but you just let these guys hang around. And listen, I get it. There's going to be growing pains. We got to be tougher on Caleb this year. He's the number one pick, man. He got Ben Johnson. He got weapons around him. He got a better offensive line, which I don't think played great, but played better than what we saw most of last year. He started 10 for 10, finished 21 of 35. Quick math, that's 11 for his last 25. It's not good enough, man. He missed a lot of throws. The accuracy waned in the second half. It seemed like there were a few shot plays dialed up that he either turned down or just didn't get open. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure we'll see more on kind of a film review situation, but I just need more out of the quarterback. Period, point blank. And look, it's week one. Ben Johnson acknowledged there's going to be growing pains early in the season. He has made that clear, but it's got to be better. You got to step on these guys' throats when you have stranglehold of a game. And look, Let's talk about the sequence everyone wants to talk about, because the refs. Yeah, the Bears got hosed on two calls. There's no question about it. Let's talk about the first one, because it was the biggest sequence of the game. Bears were in position to put this game on ice. They're up 17-6. Caleb hits Swift on a little check down. He makes a guy miss, gets down to the 12-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Well, holding on Darnell Wright brings it back. They show the replay. The defender slips. He pushes him into the ground. It's a bad call. It's an egregious call. So instead of 1st and 10 at the 12, it's 1st and 20 or actually I think 2nd and 20. I think it was a second down check down to Swift. It's 2nd and 20 at your own 34. That's a big difference. I will fully acknowledge that. But I'm not going to be the blowhard fan that blames the whole game on a penalty, because you still, after all that, ended up with the field goal attempt. Now, it was a 50-yarder, because then you have an intentional grounding and you have to hit Zacchaeus for 8 or 9 yards to give yourself a shot. Cairo Santos needs to make a 50-yard field goal. If he makes that, you're still up 20-6. And even with the miss, you are still up 17-6 late in the third quarter. You can't let that sequence just compound into just you lose the game. J.J. McCarthy drives them down. They go score. Bears offense, what do? They go 3 and out. A lot of that's on Caleb. He's the quarterback. Vikings go take the lead. And yes, on the drive where they took the lead, bullshit pass interference call on Tyreek Stevenson. It should have been a 4th and 1. The receiver literally slipped. It was a horrible call. But again, you had chances to put this game away. And you just didn't do it because Caleb wasn't consistent enough. And look, you couldn't run the ball either. It would be nice if they could run the football. Caleb Williams outrushed DeAndre Swift. That's not a good sign. 17 carries, 53 yards, 3.1 average. Not going to cut it. I didn't see a lot of running lanes. I did think there were a couple missed opportunities for Swift when the vision started to wane. That drive where the phantom holding penalty on Darnell Wright popped up, I thought he started to get going on that drive, lowered the shoulder on one, had a nice cutback. He was looking better there. But as a whole, not a good game for Swift. Not a good game for the rushing attack. But you had multiple chances. In the first half, you get a 3 and out. You take a 7-0 lead. You get another 3 and out. You're starting to cook. False start. Next drive, 2 false starts. You go for a 4th and 3. Caleb's amped up, misses DJ Moore. The opportunities were there. The opportunities were there, and they just didn't kick the fucking door down. And I get it. It's week 1. The season's not over. But that's a pretty tough loss, man. You dominated this game, but you just didn't put the game away. And then JJ finally makes some plays. Credit to him. Had a good fourth quarter. Threw a couple touchdowns. Ran one in. Kevin O'Connell, they hung around. You can't let a team with a good coach like that hang around. Sorry. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. You can't lose to this. To this. He was horrific for 3 quarters. You can't lose to a guy for playing one good quarter. You had 12 penalties for 127 yards. I get it. The PI on Stevenson and the hold on Darnell Wright were bad calls. It's still 10 fucking penalties, man. Like Ben Johnson said after the game, 12. We knew coming into this game the team that would make the least amount of mistakes would win the game. The Bears made more mistakes, even with the awful J.J. McCarthy pick 6. An awful one. That's another thing. You got a pick 6 from Nahshon Wright, who left the game with an injury. You've got no corners left. Hopefully Jalen and Kyler come back next week. Look, if you lost this game 27-24, just like a normal back and forth game, that's one thing. You were in command, and you just didn't step on their throats. That's the story of the game. Self-inflicted wounds and a lack of a killer instinct, and your quarterback not being consistent enough. He's got to play better. Subscribe to the channel. We got about 1,000 new subscribers on our watch party. Thank you guys so much. We are closing in on 130,000 subs. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us tonight and all season long. It's a long season. We're not punting on the season, but hang in there with us as we will be there every step of the way, every single day. Do want to thank PrizePicks for sponsoring tonight's show, as tonight's postgame show is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. It's nice to have football back, as I've been firing off lineups the last couple of weekends, and I've cashed in pretty well, especially in college football. That's where I've taken advantage. It's very easy to play PrizePicks, as you just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. Pretty sure I won my 2-player lineup tonight. Double check here. I had Caleb Williams more than 183.5 passing yards. That did connect. And J.J. McCarthy rushed for more than 17.5 rushing yards. So I won this 2-player lineup, $20 to win 60. Just one example of countless lineups you could submit. Check it out today. They also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Download the PrizePicks app right now. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, some other thoughts on the game. In conclusion on Caleb, you see the signs. I do think there's some things to feel good about, but it's, again, number 1 pick. We're going to give this more time. I know people are saying Bagent, or they're not going to go to Bagent, so it's a moot talking point. If they're 0-4 and he's playing like shit going into the bye week, okay, I think that's probably the earliest the conversation could start, but not a good enough performance. I think he would acknowledge that. Ben will certainly acknowledge that. That needs to be better. Let's talk about the defense. Listen, I know in the end you give up 27 points, but through 3 quarters you gave up 6 and you got a touchdown from your defense. You should win that game. Dio Odengbo was in the backfield a lot. That's a positive development. Now, Christian Darrisaw didn't play. He took advantage of a backup left tackle in Justin School. But listen, it's not Dio's fault. From what I saw tonight, I thought he was pretty good. He had a sack, couple of QB hits. He was denting the pocket. I thought he played well. I think that's a check mark for the first game of Dio Odengbo. Jerron Dexter was in the backfield a lot. Had a TFL, had a sack. I predicted him to lead the team in sacks this year. That was good to see. Montez Sweat had a couple TFLs, had a nice breakup, too, on a bootleg where JJ faked the toss to the right, rolled left, tried to throw to the back pylon, and he swatted the ball away as he was in his face. I think the D-line as a whole was pretty good. Tano Passanio, practice squad elevation, he had a sack tonight. So, for the most part, the D-line played well. Now, as the game went on, Jordan Mason started to have his way on the ground, 15 carries, 68 yards. So, Minnesota did start to find some success. I didn't think down the stretch the pass rush was really there once JJ started to make some plays. But the defense did more than enough to win the game. You have to make that a 3-score game. You had chances to do it. This game was lost for 2 reasons. The offense wasn't good enough. That starts with, well, I guess it starts with Ben, but to me, more so on Caleb tonight. Just missed too many throws. You couldn't run the ball, and you had a million penalties. 4 false starts in the first half. What have we heard all of training camp? Pre-snap penalties. Can't happen. It cannot happen. It just killed drive after drive after drive after effing drive, man. You're not going to win in this league with 12 penalties. You want to say 2 of them were bullshit? I'm with you. But you're not going to win in this league when you have 12 penalties. That's the bottom line. So, all right, who you guys got next week? All of a sudden, this is a huge game. Both teams are 0-1. Bears at Lions. 12 penalties at home. Ford Field's going to be rocking. That's going to be tough, man. CHI for the Bears, DET for the Lions. My guess on the early point spread, Lions 4.5, 5.5. I think they'll be a healthy favorite at home. That would be my guess. Do want to give a shout out to Noah Sewell. I thought he stepped in and played well. 9 tackles, led the team. He was flying around, especially in the first half. So kudos to him. I thought he did a good job with TJ Edwards out. Obviously, Nahshon Wright, who had that pick 6, want to give him some credit as well. Did leave the game with an injury. Didn't look great either. So wishing the best for him. Clearly, especially if he's out, you need Jalen Johnson back. Worked out for the game. Did not play. Kyler Gordon didn't play either. So need to get those guys back. All right, Vikings 27, Bears 24. Very, 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 very disappointing loss. But you got to flush it. That's this league. Tomorrow's a new day. So 0-1. We've been here before, unfortunately. Hey, last year they were 1-0 and they went 5-12. So maybe they can flip it the other way this year. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be here tomorrow with more content. Bear down.